What's going on, everyone? This is Anthony with SuccessfulUnderdog.com, and you are now tuned in. Super excited to talk about this book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Now, if you don't know 50 Cent, which is really rare if you don't, I advise you to check him out. Okay, super important. Now, if you know who 50 Cent is, he has been on the scene for a very long time and is still relevant. Not only is he a rapper, but he's also an actor, television producer, investor, and entrepreneur. So, I grew up listening to him, big fan of him, and it's just amazing to see this whole transition. What even amazes me more is that you grow up listening to 50 Cent, and everyone has this image of him. At least most people can agree. 50 Cent, the gangster rapper. After reading this book 3 times, I mean, behind the scenes, I think I now had to refer him as Mr. Jackson the Genius, because of what he mentions in this book. I mean, the information is priceless. So, not gonna waste your time. If you're interested in the book, you want the book, you're just waiting for someone to tell you to get the book, get the book. Right below is a link where you can actually get the book from Amazon. Now, folks, just a disclosure, it is an affiliate link. What that means is that if you buy the book, I will get a small percentage of that sale. So it helps me a lot. I want to continue, posting this content. If it helps you, please, again, comment below. Let me know. But there's going to be plenty more videos. So let's get right into it. I wrote some of this stuff down. I do run a blog as well, but I figured, some of this information that I already wrote down can be a perfect outline for me to explain to you guys real quickly. So why even listen to 50 Cent? I mean, the guy has done so much in business and in personal life. He goes in details in this book about these things, which you'll relate to it, okay? But when you find a guy like 50 Cent to be in your present, it's best to shut up and pay attention, not to the end result where you see the success, and I mean the cars, the houses, the TV interviews. Instead, it's really about the how did he get there, okay? Because no matter what, with great success, with great success comes with so many failures. And that's what I always look for, and I advise you to do the same. He talks about these things, and we're just going to go right into it. So some of the lessons, 3 lessons you're going to learn in this book. These are my favorite lessons. Negotiation. Okay, I'm a big sales guy. I love sales. I'm crazy, I know, but negotiation, and a lot of you have negotiated, regardless if it's with your parents, regardless if it's trying to get a raise from your boss, or even maybe that guy or girl who you've been wanting to date, and you convince them to go on one date, and if it doesn't work out, there's no ties to it, and there's no hard feelings. So again, negotiation, that might have been a little bit more closing, but still, jokes aside, he talks about negotiation, the practices behind it. I mean, have you ever negotiated an 8-figure contract? Again, 50 Cent has done it all, so it's something to pay very close attention to, okay? That's one lesson here. You're also going to, this is actually one of my favorites too, again, your work ethic. I mean, work ethic versus me finding you in the club with a bottle full of bub. All right, now, if you don't know that line, that's from In the Club by 50, okay? So, something interesting about 50 that blew my mind. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. Crazy. Now, he does drink, but on very, very rare occasions, okay? But he continues to talk about how drinking or smoking can confuse people. And what I mean is, like in the rap industry, a lot of rappers are convinced they can't make great music without smoking or even drinking, which it becomes a crutch. So without the alcohol or the weed, they can't make great music. And that really, really sucks, because they lean towards that. Now, if they're in the studio, now this is something that was mentioned, but if they're in the studio, Dr. Dre calls the studio, says he's going to be there in 30 minutes. He wants a verse from this rapper, but again, what are they going to do? wait for the weed man to come and waste Dr. Dre's time, I don't think it's going to happen. But he continues on to talk about how it alters your mind, messes up your decisions. And he talks about why he doesn't smoke or drink. Again, very rare occasions. All right. So really interesting to hear 50 talk about it. Again, just because of his music, the way the media, how he's seen his image throughout the years, it really blew my mind. Again, it kind of goes back to, wow, like behind the scenes, 50 is a genius this whole entire time. I mean, he's been paving his own way. All right, so last lesson here we're going to talk about is evolve or die. Something personal. I've worked with companies, their founders or CEOs, but they were always very much stuck in their ways. They really didn't want to do anything different. And what I mean by that is like social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You think those are all basic, but they could have done a little bit more. Webinars with Facebook, going live, so many things that could have been done. Being a lot more creative and really building an audience. But again, this is something that kind of just wasn't on their agenda. And this is part of that title, evolve or die. If you don't evolve, you can die. To give you a better idea, if you've ever listened to let's say a rapper sing or even watched an actor, but they were really hot, they had their moment, then suddenly you don't hear from them anymore. And then you wonder, whatever happened to that person? Most of those people never evolved, okay? Which ends up drying up their career and trying to milk it for what it is, and it just sucks. Because you see those, actors or rappers trying to get on any show to make some income. It's a sad thing. He goes on to talk about evolving and not dying and changing for tomorrow's new world. Bottom line, guys, the world will change regardless, with or without you. And he talks about how he stays relevant throughout all these years. Again, we're talking 20 plus years. It's crazy. If I remember correctly in the book, for corporate, it's 25 years and up. So real crazy there. Very strong lesson. So he goes on to talk about that. So really, you hear these lessons. These are priceless. Okay, he's gonna dive deep into those. There's plenty of other lessons I didn't mention in this video. I just wanted to make it quick. I'm just giving you my favorite, lessons that I've learned. Again, I read it 3 times. The reason why I read it 3 times is because the first time, you get it, you understand it, you take some of it. Second time, you start to realize, like, whoa, it's like a movie. You watch it once, you didn't see a certain part, then you picked it up on the second time. And third time, just like the second time, you pick up something new. So I'm going to continue reading this book. It's going to be in my library for a very long time. It's never going away. It's something I'll pick up. And I'm super excited for, when he comes out with another book. So again, if this is something you're interested in, if this is something that, hey, I can benefit off of, I really think it can help, in a huge, huge way. I wish I had this book, 12 or, when I was 12 or 13 years old, because it would have changed my life, okay? I really mean that. If I had this book, then it would have just changed my whole mentality. So I believe this can help you. Again, if you're interested, the link is right below. Go ahead and click that. It'll send you to Amazon. And again, if you have any questions, if you're still hesitant, don't hesitate to message me. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. Well, until next time, peace.